Welcome back. Well, we have Jeff Parker here, and nice to have you on a Friday. Welcome.
Hey, good morning to you. It's great to be here.
Good morning. And you know, we've been so excited that we've been able to open up the village, and more keeps coming every week. So, but before we get to that, we can touch on the small numbers that we're looking at for COVID.
Yeah, it's really been good. One, obviously the vaccinations are getting out there. So what we're seeing is that steady decline in the hospitalization rates, which is really the key factor for so much of the state and county guidelines are really looking at how well they can control that hospitalization. As you can see, our current ICU numbers are 28 and our hospitalizations at 113, staying in that very, very low number. That's really one of the critical elements. Unfortunately, we did have 19 deaths that were reported yesterday. That is concerning, obviously, because it impacts individual residents in Orange County, and so our hearts go out to the families like that. The positive news, look at that positive cases. We're under 100, and yet we had almost 14,000 tests done. So that ratio is helping us dive down into the approach that we want to get to, which allowed us to go to the orange, headed towards the yellow now. It will take a little time because those requirements get stiffer and stiffer, but it's exciting that we're heading into that, which allowed us, as you know, last week starting Monday, or this week starting Monday, and then next week we add a few more opportunities out there with Clubhouse 4 and some outside activities to increase our participation by our village back into what we'll call the normal operation.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to mention that our ceramics program will open up on Monday. Again, we're doing Activenet reservations, so people are getting used to that. It's a little bit of a process if you haven't registered, so we're getting help to people getting registered. Call your recreation number if you haven't done that before, and they can help you out. And we also have limited capacity at those places. We haven't had a problem this week. It's been really efficient, and the number of people are coming back, but they're not coming back in droves, and we're able to control that environment. So that's really, really good for us and good for the people being able to come back to the wood shop or the sewing, and now ceramics coming down the road.
Right. And I know that it is a limited capacity, so you want to be, I think it was 11 or 12 people that are allowed at a time.
Right.
And you have it sectioned off where you have morning hours and afternoon hours. So before we came on, we were talking about how people are just sort of starting to feel comfortable to get out and about. So are you inundated on Activenet for those classes, or is it just slowly becoming popular?
It's slowly becoming popular, and I think it's going to become more active, especially using Activenet. And Activenet's a little bit new for some of the residents. Some have already been registered and been a part of our recreation programs, but those that are new and coming back to the wood shop or ceramics, or that haven't registered before, go on our website. There's a link to Activenet where you can get registered. Or if you're having any difficulties getting registered, please call our recreation department and they can help you out.
Okay.
Back to the numbers though, we did see a little bit of uptick in those cases in the last week, but still we're well headed in the range of moving towards the yellow tier, and we're still really solid in the orange tier. The 1.6 is a real good number on the test positive rate. And so we just need to keep moving towards that, ultimately that yellow tier, and get into that 2 of the 3. So we just get one more. And then once we're steady in that, we then are in that 3-week time frame and we move into that. So I'm hoping by end of April, beginning of May, we can see ourselves going into that yellow tier, which will give us another bump up in capacity in the room, and that just gives us more ability to work with people. In the meantime, we're hiring more rec staff to help compensate for that and address that. So it's timing out pretty well. And then the really positive news that came out was the governor announced that his anticipation, based on how well we're doing with vaccines and hospitalizations, keeps going, that he's thinking that June 15th could be the time frame where we could open back up totally in California. Which was, if we can get back to that level and still stay secure with masks and distancing and that, but be able to fully operate That'll be an exciting time for us.
Right. I mean, we don't want to jump the gun. However, I think people are very excited and they would like to be able to see things open. And of course, our businesses would certainly like to get things rolling so they can start to make money, making up for the losses that they had.
Absolutely.
One thing I did want to talk about real quickly is about the vaccinations. So, of course, you had the vaccination program that was here with Memorial Care. And now that there are so many other areas that they are able to get the vaccine, is there still a thought that you would have vaccinations here or not necessarily?
Yeah, we are still in dialogue with Memorial Care about having one more vaccination clinic at the end of the month in April.
Okay.
It would be a 2-weekend situation again where we would do, because of our access has been with Memorial Care is with the Moderna. We'll do a vaccination on 1 weekend, and then 28 days later we would do a second one. So if we can do the end of April, and we're looking at that, and then we would follow up, in basically near the end of May.
Okay.
And then we're looking at potentially being able to then get vaccinations to everybody in the village.
That would be great.
Everybody 55 and over that lives here. And I think if we accomplish that, and knowing that people are going out there, it's so easy to get it now compared to what it was.
Yeah.
You can, again, go to Rite Aid and CVS, go through the county to their sites. A lot of people have received those shots in our village already. So we're hoping that our number is pretty small with the last clinic. Yeah. But if we can accomplish that, that's our goal.
That will be great. And also because maybe there are some people who can't travel and you could still do the in-home type thing, which I think would be really awesome. So, okay, good to know that you're working on that. Now, something totally unrelated, which is coming down the pike, which you just told me about before you came on, and I thought this was the weirdest thing. So we are going to have to dial all the numbers of a phone number now. Tell me why that's the case.
So federal agencies are changing up they're creating a new 988 code for a special service that they're looking at. That 988 was one of the area codes that they were using here in a sense of if the 949 got to the point where it was full and they needed to go to. So with that being gone, it was announced that all of our carriers, so your personal carrier, AT&T, my personal carrier, Verizon as an example, it will be required that individuals use the 949 when they're calling out. So if you're a 949, I'm a 949, I'm still going to have to dial 949 to reach you. I see. So within that area code, you're going to have to dial all 10 digits versus only the 7 that you were doing before. This is effective by the end of October. So don't go worrying about it too much, but look at your telephone bill that people received. It's on there. It talks about it. Okay. There's talk that AT&T's being pretty aggressive about it, that they're working at doing it in the next couple months. Verizon has indicated that they're going to wait until summertime. They have until October to get it implemented.
I see.
And so you just have to work with your own carrier. We're just wanting to get the information out there. It's not something that's going to, we know within our own phone system here, we're working with our carrier. We'll have it all set up with regards to outgoing calls being done.
And that doesn't matter if you're using a cell phone or a landline. Everything's the same, right?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, perfect.
So we'll have more information about that in the near future, and we'll get a blast out to the community as well.
Perfect. Well, we thought we would just mention it now.
Sure.
Well in advance.
Yes.
All right, good. Well, thank you. Have a great weekend. And will we be seeing you Monday?
Yeah, I'll be on Monday, and hopefully numbers haven't changed or gotten better, and make a quick report on Monday, and then we're going to figure out how we're going to do this in the future, and have maybe fewer updates in the sense that we're moving so progressively into the new categories. I just want to keep people informed.
You don't want to be my co-host anymore 3 days a week?
We can do other things.
We'll talk about other things. All right, good. All right, well, thank you. We'll see you on Monday.
It's great. Sounds good.
All right, and remember that if you need assistance for Activenet, call Resident Services. They're more than happy to walk you through that system. And stay tuned. We're going to have Nada with United Update.